So we started this morning with some cybercrime, then went on through robotics and human and robot interaction. We had Pepper up here. Now we heard about global management of global production of smart factories. Now we're getting back to, well, some cyber stuff. With us today is Qabel. It's an all-in-one crypto platform, which is for free, open sourced, and they just introduced their public beta today, and we'll have several guests up here that will introduce Qabel and the use of an all-in-one crypto platform. So we're getting back kind of to cyber, maybe not crime, but how to prevent it. We need a moment. We take it slow. It's the open stage. So we kind of, everything is open, agile, flexible. I haven't asked you about a dirty secret. I do ask my guests if they have a dirty secret I can reveal here up on stage.
Haben wir ein paar Jahre gemacht, bringt überhaupt nichts.
No,
Ich muss jetzt nachher noch
no
in
dirty
einen kleinen
secrets.
Reseller rüber, CRN TV mache ich noch ein Interview.
Well, that's one of the dirty secrets. Please do not trust us. I introduced to you, and you're going to introduce the rest of the group. Is that right?
Yep.
I want to introduce to you Peter Leppelt. He's the CEO.
Also ich kann jetzt gleich nach Bielefeld
Jetzt geht's endlich los.
So, dass das alles
Your
halbwegs
microphones
vernünftig.
are turned on already, guys.
Wrong mic.
I want to introduce to you Peter Leppelt. You just saw him on the center stage. And we'll have a talk up here about the crypto platform. You're going to introduce the rest of the group. So next 45 minutes is yours up on stage. Have fun.
Thank you.
Ja, wir waren da oben.
Test, test.
Aber cool. Ja, ich fand es so gut, die Diskussion.
Hello.
Live.
Do you hear me? Okay, test, test, test. Test again.
Test. Das bin ich.
Do you hear me? Hello. Ah, okay. Sounds better. Okay. Yeah. One little question before we start. Who has attended the podium discussion we have just seen? Okay. So there are some content we will hear twice, but we have a tight schedule and we start in a couple of minutes the product presentation. So please be patient. We will close this presentation with a Q&A, so please take notes and ask your questions later. So my name is Peter Leppelt, one of the CEOs of Qabel, and I would like to talk a bit about the current situation of our society regarding surveillance, privacy, and civil rights. Luckily or tragically, it's quite easy to summarize. Everything is just terrible. Okay, thank you for your attention. Nice to see you. Okay, we have a look at the reasons for this. And we see four main influences. The first one is politics. Almost all states worldwide are expanding their surveillance programs at the moment. And the reasons for that are probably not as complex as you might think. First of all, there are conservative reflexes as an answer to social media echo chambers, which demands easy and black and white answers to complex problems. And things like more surveillance equals more safety and security are widely believed again. Next thing, the unbelievable influence of intelligence services. Everyone can be blackmailed, in particular if you know everything about him. Now you could ask, but aren't we more secure if we decide to allow the services to do things? I would say no. What you see here is the average rise of the crime clearance rate in countries after implementing data retention laws. Thereby the communication providers are forced to collect electronic communication metadata of their customers. Namely, the following information must be stored: who has communicated when, with whom, from where to where, how long, with the help of which media. Now you say, but backdoors. Backdoors could be a solution. if you force the tech companies to include interfaces for lawful interception measures, the terrorists can't hide themselves anymore, right? No, because they are not stupid. This is the problem with dangerous terrorists, and that makes them dangerous. They build their own. You know, the only ones you can observe with such measures are the normal people, those who have nothing to hide. The second major point to shed light on is the economy. Internet companies collect vast amounts of data in monopolistic structures and build business models around these data. The reasons for that are, of course, capitalistic rules and greed, which is, of course, also a capitalistic rule. And the third thing is the dark side of the force, criminals. Surprisingly, there are bad people out there. Sorry, what I meant to show was they use, of course, every opportunity to steal your data and thus your life and money and so on. And the last and maybe the most inconvenient topic to mention is your neighbor. Since man is a social being, there's nothing more interesting than the life of others and gossip. You all know it. To conclude the mechanisms we heard, data means power. Power over people and thus power over states, because states are surprisingly made of people. Centralized data means centralized power. And this is exactly what people are fighting for at the moment. States against states, to be more precisely, US Five Eyes against the rest of the world. Companies against companies, and states against companies. You may have heard of the quite ridiculous Apple versus FBI discussion at the moment. So, you might ask, who cares? I've got nothing to hide, so what should I be afraid of? But there are some really important freedoms at stake. First of all, the freedom of speech. And I used this picture to illustrate because this guy is obviously allowed to say everything, so it's quite a good image. The freedom of opinion is at stake. And probably the most critical thing, the freedom to make up your own mind. An astonishing amount of people don't feel comfortable researching topics like international terrorism because they are afraid to get on some ominous surveillance list, and they do actually. But what really hurts is this: our dignity is at stake. Now you ask, why aren't there a great number of tools out there which encrypts everything all the time? Well, there's a little trick which is often used, the so-called four horsemen of the Infocalypse. Quite interesting thing. Hello? This metaphor describes the methodology to stop practically anything you don't want to have out there. It's basically founded on some thought-terminating cliches like terrorists could use it too, or it could be used for child porn or so on. Google it occasionally, it's quite interesting. You may say, okay, let's fix this with politics. Well, if you listen a bit to this guy, it's hard to believe that something useful could come from the politics. Snowden said someday, there's a policy solution, but also a technical solution. And I admit there have been one impact of his leaks you can see at the moment in the political sphere, namely the collapse of safe harbor for violating some fundamental rights of EU citizens. But good news, soon we will have the EU-US privacy shield, and everything will get better. Not, just kidding. It will explode too. In fact, everyone is making fun of this ridiculous draft at the moment. What you have mostly seen after Snowden is this, plain nothing. And furthermore, we see a worldwide drift to the political right at the moment. This means things won't get better. And the positions with influence are usually filled with people with so much competence that we can expect just as great decisions. Just say. Nobody is doing anything useful 3 years after Snowden and the many years before. And the many things before, years before. Nothing has happened. And we are in the middle of the third crypto war. And we are on the way toward defeat. No one will help us, and to make it perfectly clear, At this moment in time, we are about to build the most perfected global surveillance and control system in the history of mankind. And it will be the ideal system for potential authoritarian regimes on the rise. So, now I have you upset enough, I think. Then let's get a bit more quite easy. Then forget now everything I said and let's be a bit more enthusiastic. In fact, many people know that they should encrypt. The main and possibly only reason why people don't use encryption tools is this: they suck. And I don't mean the people, I mean the tools, you know. They're unbelievably crappy to use. And this is quite the biggest problem, I think. And it's getting worse. After you been through the torture of the install process of the tools, generated your private and public key, published your public key, and learned how to use it, the whole system and the shitty software, then you have convinced all your friends and colleagues to do the same. And this is quite not possible. And you have to use a different tool for every single digital channel: instant messaging, email, file sharing, and so on. Genau. So what really helped? There should be a platform, and it should encrypt data and hide metadata. So far, so obvious. But such a platform should have some more important principles. First one, openness. The openness of code to prevent backdoors. In the last years, we learned that nearly every commercial software has been compromised by the services. Decentrality. Everyone has to be able to host the platform. The whole knowledge of mankind must not depend on one person, organization, company, or state. Availability. The platform has to be available for free and for everyone and forever. And maybe the most important property such a platform should have: you must not have to trust someone. No other users, no providers, no us. Not us. So now for the surprise, we have built it. Yeah, but the actual news and brave step is that we are trying to make it fun and easy to use. And I mean, every idiot should be able to use it in future. And with these words, I'm giving up to Britta with this picture. So.
Well, thank you, Peter. Hi, my name is Britta. I'm the marketing responsible for Qabel, and I now have the honor to introduce our first service to you. But let's first have a look. What is the actual problem in cryptography? The left picture shows it. There are too many different techniques involved so far. For cloud, email, and messenger, it is all application specific, and as a user, you have to take care of everything separately. On the right picture, you see the Qabel approach, our platform for encryption across application. We are getting started today with the cloud symbol. We call it Qabel Box, a cloud which doesn't steal. It provides a client-based online storage for Android and Windows desktop. It has many features you already know from other cloud storages, such as upload and download, synchronization and share over any number of devices. But Qabel also has some distinct core features for security and anonymity. Upload, download, sync, and share are always end-to-end encrypted. Qabel also largely avoids metadata and in addition gives the user the opportunity to obfuscate occurring metadata, that is Metadatenverschleierung in Deutsch, to a certain degree. Also worth mentioning is that Qabel lets you create and manage multiple identities with just one Qabel account and within one single login. It also has an integrated short message service and we give you 2 GB of free storage. But let me walk you through the process. Qabel is client-based. So in order to run Qabel, you need to install a small piece of software on your device. We call that the Qabel client. You can run Qabel on only one single device or as many devices as you wish to, but in our example here, we have 2 devices. You don't need 2 devices. One is perfectly fine. So on the left side of this video, you will always see the Qabel desktop client for Windows, and Qabel is currently available for Windows from 8.1. And on the right side, you will always see the client as it appears on Android mobile, like smartphones or tablets, for which Qabel is currently available from version 4.4. So after downloading and installing Qabel, the first thing you need to do is to create a Qabel account. You only have to do this one single time, either through our website, the desktop client, or the Android client. It doesn't matter. As mentioned before, Qabel comes with 2 GB of free storage for the start, and very soon you will also be able to buy additional storage. So, what do we need to create a Qabel account? It's very simple. It's a username. You can pick whatever you wish for. It's an email address, a valid email address, and a password with at least 8 characters. The Qabel account is valid for the current service Qabel box, as well as all other future Qabel services. At this point, it is important to emphasize that Qabel is a platform, and Qabel box is only the very first service. The Qabel account makes the Qabel box available, but also all other future services, whichever may come. Let's move now to the Android client. You can download it from Google Play and as well as the desktop client from our website on qabel.de. These are the welcome screens you can see here, followed by some legal notes and our Qabel public license, the QAPL, specially developed license for Qabel. I have to accept that. Okay. And since you've already created a Qabel account earlier in the desktop client, all you need to do here is to log into your Qabel account with your already existing credentials. Like we chose Mallory and our password. The next step is to create at least one identity. Now, identities are crucial in Qabel. To give you an analogy, a Qabel identity in your Qabel client is like an email account in your email client. As folders and emails to your email account, all folders and data is attached to your Qabel identity in your Qabel client. The client itself, in both cases, only serves as an access point. The identities in Qabel are connected to your Qabel account and will also work for all future Qabel services. Remember the platform approach we have. So click on Create New Identity and pick a name for your first identity. In this case, it is Alice. In the creation process, you can select the degree of anonymity towards outside observers. It is the metadata obfuscation degree. Without going into the technical details, at this point in time, I only want to point out that the more anonymity and therefore a higher metadata obfuscation you wish for, the more traffic is produced in the background. We have successfully created our first identity. And to increase the fun factor before we move on, let's create a second identity, which is Bob. You can manage any number of identities within the same Qabel account and within the same single login. So now the Qabel account for Mallory has got 2 identities, as we can see here. It's Alice and Bob. To make the content of one identity also available on the different device, you need to export your identity. You only have to do that once. So we export the identity here. The ending .qid is for all Qabel identities. And now we have exported our identity Bob here and stored it locally on this device. As mentioned earlier, we need to export and exchange also our contact in order to be able to communicate with other Qabel users. So let's stay here in the Android client and we export the contact of the identity Alice into a .qco file. Please note, this is not the identity of Alice, it is only the contact. As an analogy, a Qabel contact is like an email address including a PGP public key. A Qabel identity, on the contrary, also contains the private key, and you really don't want to share that with others. Okay, so let's get back to our desktop client. We now want to import one of our identities we have created on the Android device also onto our desktop client. This will ensure that we have access to all our future files of this identity on both devices, end-to-end encrypted, of course. In this case, we import our Bob identity. And in addition, we also create a new identity that we only want to use on the desktop client. In this case, it's Bob Office. And as you can see in this example, the identities are very good to separate the different life spaces we all have, like work, family, hobby, etc. Let's import the Alice contact now, the .qco file. Go to Import Contact. And import the .qco file. After you've done that, Alice shows up as your first contact in your contact list. We now want to upload a file into the Bob identity on our desktop client. We browse through our local files, and we pick a file, and we upload it. The progress bar here keeps you up to date with the upload process. Now we can share this file with our prior imported contact Alice. And we can also add a short message to it. Because everything in Qabel is end-to-end encrypted and the public key is attached to a contact exchange always needs to be mutual. So before we can see the shared file from the desktop client on the Android client, we have to import the Bob contact also on the Android device. The contacts are also served for the data exchange between the different identities on the different clients and within the same account. As soon as we did that, we can see the message from Alice and also import the shared file and write a short message back. Let's take a look now at the incoming shares folder. There it is. And for a quick look at the image, we have implemented a simple image viewer. So everything we have done and seen so far in Qabel is fully end-to-end encrypted. Let's hop to the next feature of Qabel Box I would like to show you, which is syncing. The great thing in Qabel Box is that you can create as many different sync folders in Qabel and synchronize them with as many local folders on your devices as you like. Simply add a folder and name it. Then click on the sync in the menu and add a Qabel sync. Choose a local folder on your device. And also a local folder on your Qabel box. The sync bar down there keeps you up to date with the progress, of course. So how does that look in Android now? Since we have already imported the Bob identity on our mobile device here on the right side, the sync folder automatically and instantly appears on the device as well. Identities stay synced at all time as long as the respective device is online. So far, we have only communicated within our own devices, but of course, we all want to interact and share information with other Qabel users. The simplest way to import a contact is via QR code, be it as shown here via a video chat. You can also exchange this contact vis-a-vis in a personal meeting. Just show him your device as a snapshot published on your social media or printed on your business card or even advertising material. And by the way, for Twitter, we are using the hashtag Qabel-QCO for QR code exchange. That's the hashtag Qabel-QCO. In the future, we will, of course, offer an optional centralized register to browse for other Qabel users as well. You can start chatting and exchanging data with your new contact right away. So before we take a look at what is happening on the server, I'd like to sum up the key features of Qabel Box again. End-to-end encrypted upload, download, and storage, metadata obfuscation, 2 GB of free storage, synchronization over any number of devices, sharing with other Qabel users, management of multiple identities with just one Qabel account and a single login, integrated short message servers, and Qabel is currently available already for Windows desktop devices and Android mobile phones and tablets. We are working on releasing Qabel for Linux and Mac OS as soon as possible. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on the servers in the background. The upper image shows you how folders and of one single identity appear. Each folder, as you can see there, has the same file size of 52 kilobyte. And the lower image here shows you the individual files, such as images, documents, etc., as they appear on the server. Let's look at the green circle on the upper picture. The information about the folder structure is hidden, so it is not possible to see whether these folders are inside other subfolders or not. It all remains hidden. You can see this one folder up there, it's called blocks, and the blocks folder actually contains the single files that you can see in the green circle on the lower picture. And as you can see or not see, the information about the file names and as well the file format remains hidden. Up next, regarding the metadata obfuscation, is the file size. So in the future, what you see with the red X, even the file size will be obfuscated. Well, thank you, and I return to Peter.
Okay. Now we have to be a bit serious again. We made some not really startup-like decisions here, I want to point out. First of all, quality before features, and this is quite the opposite of the usual startup behavior. We know that the Qabel platform is a highly serious thing, and lives could and will depend on it. For example, for civil rights activists in totalitarian states. Therefore, we have to make sure that we have done our homework. So I have to emphasize, don't rely on Qabel yet. This is why we started this beta version. We have to learn what you didn't get right and fix it. Use it with trivial data, test it, and tell us what's wrong. When we are done with that, we'll see what comes next. And now we need you. And this is no phrase in our case, we really need you. Because with this project and our principles, we are antagonizing some serious organizations, I guess. The 4 Horsemen are already on the way. The executive authorities, the copyright industry, the security industry, politics. And yeah, I know it's a false Trump image, but it just makes fun to make fun of this guy. And probably many more. By now, we have developed the platform and implemented some example services. You've seen it like Qabel Box and the short message service. What we need now are testers and users. Qabel only makes sense if people use it, of course. People who want to develop stuff on Qabel. Remember, if your service is for free, Qabel is as well. Provider partners to host it. And we need people and journalists to talk about and with Qabel. We need companies that want to use Qabel for their employees and customers. We need sales partners, we need system integrators, we need Internet of Things manufacturers or hackers. Because yes, we mean platform literally. A cable client could run in your coffee cup one day. And we need companies who want to develop software on cable, of course. People with creative ideas we never thought of. And we need geeks. A lot of geeks, nerds, and intelligent people who wants to use it, develop it, destroy it, and host it, and so on. To make it short, we need all of you. Communication lives with the people, so make yourselves at home. Our goal is that no one has to take care of encryption anymore because it's just solved. Neither customers nor manufacturers. We are open for partnerships of all kinds as long as they match our principles. With one little exception, our license prohibits the use of cable by military or intelligence services. Yeah. Because beside of any political and ethical concerns, this is a plain insult. It is barbarian and it's just wrong, and you don't have to put up with this. Everyone can do something against it because encryption works, and things will change even if you do nothing, and usually they will change for the worse. But if you do something, you got at least a chance that things change for the better. In other words, let's fight back and do something. And you don't have to do it with us, even if we would be glad, of course. But please do something. The topics are way too important to ignore them. And you are welcome to do it with us. Thank you. Back to Britta.
Thank you. We are very, very proud that already in this early stage we have pilot partners who supported us in Qabel since Qabel's alpha phase. Two of our pilot partners are here today, so please meet Frank Roebers, Chairman of the Executive Board of SYNAXON AG with its brands iTeam, Accent, Microtrend and PC Spezialist. And right after that, Mike Hahm, Manager Business Development of Konica Minolta Business Solutions Europe.
Thank you. Last Sunday we had 3 regional elections in Germany, and what we saw was a significant move to the right of the political spectrum in Germany. And before this election it would a little bit be unpopular to say I have some secrets. In the near future it could be a little bit dangerous or risky to say you have some secrets. But I have secrets and I want them to stay secret. When I have, for example, confidential conversations with my colleagues, with my tax consultants, with my lawyer or my doctor, I want to maintain control who is addressed and who will be able to participate to this communication. But when I use digital technologies, I have the choice to lose this control or to use crypto tools that are unbelievably difficult and uncomfortable. Whoever tried to use PGP or TrueCrypt, for example, knows what I mean. And I don't trust companies like Dropbox, Evernote or Google that they really will fight for my privacy. I believe that they have built hidden software backdoors that provide full access at least to the US authorities. Because their software is closed, I can't check the code or can't check the code through experts. In my opinion, crypto software has to be open always and verifiable. Otherwise, I don't believe that I have not any opportunities for authorities to access to my data. That is the reason I was so glad to read on Spiegel Online 2 years ago that Qabel wants to solve the conflict between strong crypto technique and an easy-to-use approach. Their claim, don't trust that it isn't necessary, their open source policy, their usage of proven crypto technologies, and their idealistic team convinced me immediately. So I decided to be one of the early investors of Qabel. I'm the CEO of SYNAXON. We are the biggest IT buying group for independent IT value-add resellers in Europe, with more than 3,300 partners and a group sales volume of more than 3 billion euro. Our partners And the customers of our partners have the same problems and pains according to confidential communication. We have thousands of customers with a need to win back the control of the digital communication. Today, Qabel starts with a public beta of their first element of their crypto system platform, the Cable Box. For us, it's an important first step. With Cable Box, you can share documents with other people in a very easy and safe way. Cable Box has the main features of Dropbox in combination with strong crypto. We are proud to be one of the first partners of Qabel and will support them in the public beta and later on in sales and marketing. Thank you.
So, hello everybody, can you hear me? Very good. So, yeah, I'm the next one, and we also are a technology partner. So, my name is Mike Hahm. I'm working for Konica Minolta, and I'm there responsible for business development. So, my job is to look for new technologies and opportunities, business opportunities for Konica Minolta. And yeah, a couple of years ago, I met Peter. I think, Peter, you're working for Konica Minolta since a couple of years, basically as a consultant for security, and I met him for one of our products or projects that we started 3 years ago. So we wanted to develop a new cloud platform, and we asked him for support. So how could we secure the data of our customers, and how can we meet the requirements in terms of data security when we offer new cloud solutions? And one of the first sentences I can remember, Peter told me when I asked, okay, how can we make the data of our customers secure? He said, basically, avoid them. So the best way to avoid to have the data more secure is avoid the data. And I said, okay, yeah, but we're talking about a digital world and cloud solution. And he said, yeah, okay, you're right. But for the rest, we are all going to develop a new solution, which is called Qabel. And with this technology, we want to basically solve the main problems that encryption technology have at the moment. First of all, they have to be secure. And secondly, they have to be convenient for the users, because we also see that, and Mr. Roebers mentioned this already, at the moment, most of the encryption technologies that are seen as secure are very inconvenient for the users. And when we saw Qabel and the idea how to deploy it, so as a platform, and then to be able to deploy new solutions, new services based on this platform in a very easy and convenient way for the users, we saw, and we still see, of course, a big potential to solve this problem, and to have it also for us as a solution provider, a technology and possibilities for our services, of course, but also in generally to find new ways to deal with data security, but on an easy way and not on a difficult way as we have it of today. So therefore, I hope you all enjoy the solution itself and you all download the solution. And as Peter said, and maybe also something that is very different to most of the CEOs of a startup, he said, don't trust on it. I say you probably can maybe not trust on it yet, but you can be sure you can trust on it in the future. And so we do, and I hopefully you all do in the future. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Frank and Mike. Up next, we have some time left for a quick Q&A round. And by the way, for all you journalists, we have press kits ready over there for you. So, grab one. Or we also have it in digital form on our website, qabel.de. So. We are looking forward to your questions in both English and German. Sorry, no Spanish today. In addition to the speakers, please welcome Benjamin Schütze, the CEO of Qabel and also representative for legal matters. Oliver Weidner here, CTO of Qabel. Our product manager, Jens Kassert. And Fridtjof Schulze, our consultant for applied cryptography. So, ready for your questions.
Just a little word. I would like to thank the team of the encrypted email service Tutanota. We know them for years, and they will spread the cable world among their 1 million customers. And it's quite good for the crypto connection handover, as we call it. We will see. And yeah, thank you. Just I wanted to say.
Okay, don't be shy.
Hello. How can I be sure as a user that the cable box is really does end-to-end encryption to my partner?
A very good question. That's probably a good thing for you, Oliver.
Well, my personal answer to this would be because the source code is published, you can view it, review it, you can review it, it can be reviewed from others, everyone can review it, and you can compile it yourself, you can deploy it yourself on your phone. Yeah, the client. Okay, the encryption backend, the whole cable backend is built into the client, so the encryption component of cable is also built into the client. So everything is encrypted from the client until it gets fired on the wire.
Okay, more questions. Oh, that's a very good question. Did you get that? What are the business requirements to provide Qabel?
That you asked two questions: the technical and the business requirements, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. From a technical perspective, of course, you need some space where you can host and run the backend services for providing the cable platform services. So choose a data center somewhere, pick up a hoster, and if you want to, run your solution in a business perspective, talk to us. You can get the complete stuff, the complete stack, the complete platform deployed in your data center, and then you can offer your own services. That's the technical perspective. From a business perspective, you get the stuff, you get the software. Of course, we need to make some money out of it. So if you want to do your own business on it, it's a commercial usage model. Then you have to pay. If you want to do it on your own for your private purposes, whatever, private use, it's free. Okay?
Thank you. More questions? Weitere Fragen? Sorry, I'm coming over to you. I can't hear you.
Is there a macOS client already in development or is still planned?
The OS X client is, let's say on my machine it's already working, but we are not supporting it officially right now. The source code you can download on GitHub, and if you are a developer, I'm sure you will get it to run on your OS X machine too.
Any more questions? So then I'm really looking forward that you spread all your .qco screenshots of your Qabel contacts on Twitter. And I'm looking forward to communicating with all of you in the next, like, let's say, 15 minutes, so you can grab something to eat. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Qabel, for this very nice presentation. So everyone make sure you download Qabel and try it today. And follow this young startup to their way to becoming a well-used crypto platform.